Welcome to the Occupational Safety Leadership Podcast, episode number 292. And today we'll talk about a couple things that's really worked great for me. It took me a long time to figure this out, mainly because it was trial and error. I figured it out on my own, and at some point I figured out, like, hey, this is something that really works great for me. I should probably share this with others. I'm not sure everybody's ever heard of the concept of time block. It's also known as time boxing. So for me, this really helps out because I say I will work on this task. Here's my starting and my ending time. Because the one thing that I found for me at least is that, boy, I was really worried about making that thing perfect. And I realized at some point there's no such thing as perfection. Get it really good. You're always going to have follow-on activities. You're always going to say, "Oh, well, I should have done this," and then on the next rev, I go do that. I add to it. But I really found that helps me um, sit down, focus on something. You only do that. You're not answering phone calls. You're not answering emails. You're not doing. Now, obviously, if someone's hurt, different story. They come find you. That kind of stuff. Then, but you're focused on that task and that task alone out there. So I, in talking to others, it says that it helps them to not procrastinate. So I have that too at times, but I've done a very good job of, even though I procrastinated, I got it done the same day. It wasn't what I wanted to do in the order I wanted to do because, of course, it wasn't a pleasant task. So I put it off to the very end. So for me, that really helps because I say, yep, I'm going to do this. Here's my starting and my ending. The task is going to be done because it's never going to be perfect anyway then. So, and the second one, the golden hour, so I've heard other people call it the power hour. It goes by a lot of different names, but it really is, when are you going to be your most focused, your most productive? When do you feel the most energized? Um, for me, because I am also a morning person, so it really helps me just to get up, get early. I get in the office early. There's almost nobody there. And boy, a lot of times I have a complete hour where it's just me, nice focused time, getting things done before, of course, people are coming in, and other things that really helps me out. But I've talked to a couple of other people, and they have a different, not, I wouldn't say a different version of that, but at times they feel more or less energized. Uh, one of my good friends says that he feels his power hour after he comes back from the gym, and he tries to go every day during his lunchtime. So he says he feels more energy for that hour after that. So he's done everything he can to block off that time as well and say, nope, I'm back from the gym. This is my focus time, point A to point B. Um, so these are two things that it took me a while to kind of figure this out because, of course, it was by trial and error. And then at some point, I figured out, like, hey, this really works out awesome. If I get started every day at 5:30 or 6, there's nobody in here. Boy, I can really get a lot of things done. And with the time block, that really helped me to sit down and say, so worried about that darn perfection, and it's never going to be perfect. We also work in a world of continuous improvement. I'm working on things now that I couldn't have dreamed of a couple of years ago because as you knock off items, you now have additional items to go ahead and tackle. So um, and with that, let's wrap it up. This was another episode of kind of older Dave talking to younger Dave. That this is something I wish I stumbled upon when I was 25. I'm supposed to be in almost 60 now. So I think I would have been a lot more productive if I had really sat down and thought about things early, not focused on I got to hurry up and get this work done. So, so with that, let's go ahead there and wrap it up today. 92 is complete, and we talked about time block. Some people call it time boxing. I've heard a couple of other different acronyms, but those two seem to be the most common out there. And we talked about the golden hour, also known as the power hour. I've heard a couple of other little um, um, ways to describe it. Focus hour. There's been other ways to really describe it. These are two things that really worked out great for me. Might work out great for you guys. So if you want to try it, awesome. And with that, let's wrap it up. Thank you and have a safe day.